Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sporting Journey. Hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to make a video, really, and the question is, right? Just first bit of question is, would Newcastle be willing to sell Alexander Isak? Now, if let's just be fantasy, let's think fantasy and just say that Newcastle are willing to sell Isak, right? Now, how much? Then the second part of the question is, how much would it cost to, for either Arsenal or Liverpool, who were to bring in Isak to their clubs respectfully, right? So let's just have a look at his stats, right? Let's start with his stats because look, there's no doubt in my honest opinion, it's probably the best striker in Premier League by far. And he's these are his stats, right? So let's go with 2022 to 2023, right? He played 22 games. He got 10 goals and 2 assists, right? Then in 2023-2024 season, he played 30 games, got 21 goals, 2 assists. Then last season, he played 34 games, got 23 goals, 6 assists. Now, if you compare that to Erling Haaland's last season, right? Erling Haaland played 31 games, got 22 goals, 3 assists, right? So for me, he's right up there with Erling Haaland, who everybody thinks, and rightly so, he's the most clinical striker in Premier League. Now, if we're realistic, right, Erling Alexander Isak's game is a lot better than. I mean, gameplay. He's running. He's bringing players in, bringing his teammates into games. He's a lot more. He's got a much better all-round game compared to Erling Haaland. Now, I love Erling Haaland because I think I think it's a breath of fresh air when he's on form. You know what I mean? But I do like watching Isak, and I do think that if I were either if I were a chairman of a football club or whatever you want to call them, owner of a football club, and if Erling Haaland and Alexander Isak come into the market, I'd have to pick Isak. I'd have to pick him. I really would. I'd have to pick Isak. I just think his all-round gameplay is a lot better. Now, I've been watching a fair few YouTube channels about this, and the range of fees between 135 million to 150 million. Now, in this day and age, it's 150 million pounds for Alexander Isak for what he brings to the club and guaranteeing you goals who's already got Premier League experience. I don't think that's too far off the mark. I really don't. Now, it sounds mad, doesn't it? 150 million pound for a player, but if that's the price you've got to pay if you want to bring in world class strikers forwards to your club. And if he did become available, and if only if he come available and that it didn't spark interest from the from the Premier League top six sides, I'd be staggered because I do believe that people would try everything and anything to get Isak through the door. Whether you're on flounders of PSR or whatever, I'm sure you'd be able to find a way of bringing in Alexander Isak to your side. Now, if Liverpool get Alexander Isak, pack up immediately. There's no point in carrying on with Premier League because no one's gonna be able to catch him. Do you know what I mean? Last season, Arsenal were favourites. Liverpool were third favourites. Man City were second favourites. Switch it round to this season. You've got Liverpool who are now favourites. In my opinion, as it stands, I think Man City are your second favourites, and because Arsenal lack of transfer news and stuff, I think Arsenal are now your third favourites. But if Arsenal brought in Alexander Isak, to me that catapults them to first favourites. That's how important I think Alexander Isak is to a side. But now thinking realistically, I don't know if Alexander Isak will want to move away from Newcastle. They're in, they won a cup last season. They're in Champions League this season. Alexander Isak is only, what is he? What is he? He's 25-year old. You know what I mean? He could stay. I think he's got 2 years left on his deal, is it? So he could stay at Newcastle for one more season. See what Newcastle do the upcoming season, and then it may possibly go this time this time next year, the summer, next summer's transfer window. I think that's when it'll more realistically be sold by Newcastle. But if I'm going to finish on this. If you've got if Alexander Isak comes available, you have to move everything to get him in. You have to do everything in your powers to try bring this player in, because the team who doesn't get Alexander Isak um, will be regretting it. I promise you, you'll be regretting it if you don't get Alexander Isak if he becomes available. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this edition of Sporting Journey. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, guys, have a great day. Speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye. First of all, let's stop sharing screen, Stuart. There we go. Right. So take care, guys. Look after yourselves. See you next time. Bye bye.